What's up?
What's up guys, welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be talking about Sheeva. After looking at Sheeva and all her variations, I think she is the strongest character of the 3 DLCs. Like, all her 3 variations are really good. They all have their own purpose and their own playstyle. And the best part is, for this character, she actually has combos in all her variations, so she actually gets damage. And each variation has their own way of opening up their opponents, so I think she's a very strong character. So like we usually do, let's go over the strings and then I'll go over each specific variation. So let's start off with her single hit moves. So her low attacks are kind of bad. Like her down 3 is really stubby. I mean, it's plus 15, but that's alright, whatever. Her poke is good, 7 frames. Her down 4 is also pretty bad, to be honest, like barely goes anywhere. But what's good is her sweep. Her sweep has like insane range. So like for a low attack, her sweep is really good. Then her forward 3 and back 3 are really good. So her forward 3 can be used like a combo starter, and it's more used for like extending combos after you start like a juggle. And then her back 3 is an overhead. Now it's a pretty slow overhead, it's 24 frames, but as you can see, it gets a crushing blow. It counters like a low attack, so like the opponent's like ducking, duck poking or whatever, this will get a crushing blow on them. Alright, so for her strings, 1, 2, 1. It's decent, it's whatever. I mean, it's an 8 frame starter, so it's an 8 frame combo punish. Unfortunately, it's not 7 frames, but that's still pretty decent. Only thing with the string is I would never actually finish it because it does have a flawless block gap at the end. But the stagger itself is not that bad. It's only -4, so it's decent. Alright, so her next one, her back 2, 2, 1. So this is really good. It's a safe launcher. Now it's a launcher, but you can only combo off that like in the corner. Otherwise, you can just like hit confirm this into something else. But look at that, you can stagger it and be -2, or you could finish the full string, but it does have a flawless block gap if you were to finish the full string. But there's no reason to, because like if you do the full string, right, you're -2, and then if you just stagger it here, you're also -2, so there's no reason to. You'll still get -2, like another amazing character that has a lot of -2 frames, Jackie. And because this string has a flawless block gap in it, that makes this stagger actually really good. So it'll be more of a legitimate guess of whether or not she does a full string or whether she staggers. So it's a better stagger for her to have, and being only -2, so it's really good. Her next one is her forward 1, 4. Now this is good. This is like her best mid. It is a little bit slow at 16 frames, but it's still pretty good. It covers a lot of spacing. Now you really can't combo off this like as a hit confirm. You can only combo like if you hit confirm like the first hit, because you can't special cancel after this, but either way it's still a good mid check. Alright, now this string is really strong. Her 2, 1, 1. This crap is pretty amazing. I mean, look at that. It's a high overhead. The high comes out in 10 frames and the overhead part comes out in 12 frames. That means it's a 22 frame overhead, which is faster than this move, which is a 24 frame overhead. So that's very strong. I mean, you finish the full string, you are safe, -5. And it's also a really good combo starter because it juggles the opponent, right? So you can do stuff like this and get like combos and crap. Alright, so this next string, her back 2, 1, 1, 2. This one's pretty decent. It ends at -6, but it does have a flawless block gap in it. But the thing is, her stagger is unsafe though. It is -9, so it's not that good that they're out there. And let me see her back 2 by itself. That's -4, so it's not all that bad. So you can like stagger this, and you can hit confirm that. That's just her back 2. Her back 2 is just right away, just a double hitting move, so it gives you plenty of time to hit confirm. And it has an overhead in it, which is actually pretty strong, so you have to react to it quickly. And then instead of going to the whole string like that, she can do back 2, 4, which is decent, is -6. Let me see if this actually juggles. Let me see, I'm curious. Okay, it doesn't really juggle that much, it just pushes the opponent back and you can't special cancel it. But either way, that's a safe way you can finish the string without being punishable or being risking doing a flawless block gap and stuff like that. And her last string is her forward 4, 4, 3. This is pretty decent. It's a safe mid. I don't think it's got a flawless block gap in it. Let me just confirm, I don't believe. Yeah, no, this is a regular safe mid. I think you can stagger it for free. Okay, you don't want to stagger, it's -10, but even if the spacing is not that punishable, by itself it's -8. So again, you're usually out of poke range, so it's not a bad stagger anyway. Besides, it recovers pretty quick. And it's a really good mid. It's a 10 frame mid, so this is a really good mid check. Now if you finish the string, you're not really going to get any combos off it, but like in some variations you can get some pretty decent combos, so that's pretty cool. So that's about it for her strings. Now her strings are pretty good, nothing too crazy. Like even the ones she has flawless block gaps for, there's no reason for her to really go for the flawless block gap, because either she has another string that's safe or she can just stagger it and be like -2. So her strings are pretty good. So let's talk about her first variation. Now I think all her variations are good and they all have a place, and they all depend on like your play style and matchup. So that's a really good thing about Sheeva. Like if you main her, you cover like a lot of different things. Okay, so let's go over the special moves she has in this variation. So she has the basic projectile, can amplify it, whatever. This is whatever, she's an MK11, so therefore she has to have a projectile, you know. It's a good projectile, does 70 damage, so it's decent. Okay, so this one's really good, her Shokan snag. It's 10 frames, it is an anti-air. You can use it as an anti-air, but really you want to use it like as a combo starter. So this is an example I was talking about. Remember how I said this overhead can like lead to a combo? So anytime you hit this overhead, you can always do something like this. That's an easy 300 damage for one hit because he didn't react to the overhead fast enough. Now the only unfortunate thing about Sheeva though, she doesn't really have any other way to land this except that string, because the rest of her strings keep the opponent grounded. This only hits you if you're like in a juggle state. So like maybe if you do like a jump kick into this or something, then you can do it. But otherwise that special move is not that good as a combo starter unless you're good at using it as an anti-air. And honestly, it comes out in 10 frames. So 10 frames, that's a pretty quick anti-air. So if you have good reactions, you have a legit full combo anti-air. So it's actually a really good move to use. You just want to use it as an anti-air and just to try to get a combo with this as like a punish or whatever. Like her stand 2 is 10 frames. So any 10 frame punish, you can get a pretty decent combo, so that's good. So her next move is her tremor. So this one's pretty decent. Now it is kind of slow at 46 frames, but it is an unblockable stomp. But the thing with the stomp is, it has the same animation as this stomp. So it's kind of hard to distinguish if she's going to do this one or like the whole other unblockable. So they're both unblockable, by the way. This one, unblockable, you can enhance it and it does like 2 unblockable hits, and it has the same animation as this move, which is also unblockable. So that's pretty decent. It has that mix up to it. But you can say, well, what about at this range? You can just jump in on her. She can't really do anything about it. And if she does the other stomp, there's like other ways you can try to avoid it. Well, she has a way she can do the stomp, enhance it, and then do an air grab. So let me show you how that looks. So if you want to get a full combo, you do have to spend 2 bars, because 1 bar is just to make that move come out. And if you want to actually do the whole combo extension, you have to spend 2. So that's really strong. If you jump in on her, she could potentially get you for a full anti-air combo, so that's really good. Then she has this move, Untamed Fury. So this one is decent. She can do it off any string, like any hit confirm that does not juggle. She can go in this special move. Does pretty decent damage. You will almost always get 200 for any hit. And what's cool is this move is actually an armor breaker. So let me put the opponent to do a quick armor break so I can show you. So of course that move for Crushing Blow on armor break, and it also Crushing Blows if you use it as a punish. So like it comes out in 11 frames, so if you do something that's like -12, you can just use it to get like a free Crushing Blow unbreakable thing, so that's pretty cool. But just so you know, with Sheeva, I have Robocopter breakaway right away, but even though this causes a juggle state, you can still get this special move to hit before they're able to break away. And just to show you, I do have it on fast, so that's pretty cool. So if you're worried about breaker, you can still punish with this move, go into this, and then go into this like armor breaker. You don't have to worry about like going straight away into this from that juggle because they can't break away that fast. And one thing I forgot to mention about Shokan Snag, this has a Crushing Blow, but you have to land this twice in a row. It's kind of annoying. It says it triggers if the previous connected attack was a regular Shokan Snag. So that literally means you have to anti-air with this twice. So you anti-air him once, you have to like have him jump again, and then you can get the Crushing Blow. I thought this would work okay, you just get one anti-air like this, and then the next time you get a combo with it, it would Crushing Blow. But it actually doesn't work that way. I'm trying to do this now, I'm holding it, doesn't give me the Crushing Blow. So unfortunately it only Crushing Blows if you anti-air twice in a row, which if you're fighting a good player, they're not going to jump at you twice in a row unless it's a Kung Lao player. But except for like one player, it's not going to work. Alright, so for the next special move, she has a drag and drop. Now every variation has this move, but this is the only variation that has the one where she can go back like this, and then forward like this, or right in your face. So it is a guess where she's gonna go. Now, I mean, there's some ways people have found you can like avoid most of them. It's like, you know, walking back, walking forward, whatever. So there's ways to like dodge it, but it's still pretty difficult, and you really have to like lab specifically how to do it. And I think maybe you can option select like a couple of them, but you can't option select all three. Now again, I haven't like tried to lab every single option to see if there's a way to dodge it. There may be a way, but overall this variation is built around this mix-up. Now I have seen some clips like some characters like Devora can like, she can do like her uppercut and make it whiff entirely, which again is another hitbox issue of MK11 we all know too well. But for the most part it is a guess, and even better, she's able to delay it too. She doesn't have to do it right away, so she can edit the timing. So it makes it very difficult to deal with all three options at once. Now of course if she misses, you can get a full combo punish on her. So it's high risk, not that good of reward, only does like 100 or so damage. But then again, if you hit it 3 times without missing and you amplify, you get a crushing blow, so that's pretty decent. But I'm sure the pro players are gonna find a way to like deal with this pretty consistent to where, I mean, they'll still get hit by it because it is a mix, but they won't get hit by it like 3 times, because it says 3 times without missing, because if they miss it once, it invalidates the crushing blow and then it has to restart again. So overall, I think this variation is really good. I think it's built around this move, like her anti-air potential, anti-air combos, juggles from this, which would be really good. Definitely a stomp variation is meant to mix you with that, mix you with this. You try to jump at her, she can just go into an air grab. She gets pretty decent combos. Now she can't do her big damage off every situation, but even like off her like this punish right here, she can go into this string, enhance it, and still get like 200 damage, so it's pretty decent. Now it's a solid variation if you like to mix up your opponent with stomps and whatnot. I don't think it's her best variation, but it definitely has a place and is definitely very much viable. So with that being said, let's move on to her second variation. Alright, so for her second variation, this one is pretty cool. So this variation allows her to combo off like any hit because of her dragon charge moves. This is like an EX charging move or whatever. She does it, like any string into it, gets a juggle, gets a pretty decent combo, so it's really good. So her projectile in this variation is a shield toss. It seems kind of whatever, right? It's a little bit slower than the other one. Now she can charge it, right? So she can charge it to delay the timing. I don't think she can cancel it. No, she can't cancel it. But check this out. It has a crushing blow if it eats a projectile. So when you charge it like this, and when it turns red and when it throws out, it would eat up any high or mid projectile. Now I don't know if it will catch a low projectile. I haven't tested that yet. So I don't know if a character like Sindel, if like her projectile can go under it. I think it probably will, but just check this out. So it totally ate that projectile, and if it eats a projectile, it gets a crushing blow. So that's really good. She has some anti-zoning. Now she can only do that once. I mean, this will always eat a projectile, but again, you have to like, it's 61 frames to start up. It's pretty slow, but it's still a pretty decent attack if you have time to throw it out there and to get the crushing blow, so it is worth it. Alright, so this next move, the spinning dragon. Now this move is interesting. It seems kind of whatever. It doesn't really do all that much. But the reason why it's good is it's her crushing blow thing that she sets up. So just so you can see, it gets a crushing blow on the 3rd amplified hit. So basically you're going to want to end your combos with this like a couple times. So you load up your crushing blow, so then at the end you can get like really big damage. And if you use this crushing blow, you can get like 490, 500 damage, so it's really strong. And if you enhance it on block, it is actually safe. Now, even though it is safe, it is, you know, -2, it does have a gap in it, so you can flawless block it. So you still don't want to do that on block against somebody. And then again, this variation has this move again, the little grab, the armor break, which is good. It does pretty decent damage. And it's nice she has her armor break in 2 variations. That's pretty good to have. And then of course she has her stomp again. Now for her stomp, she can still delay it. She can do that in any variation. She just can't go like back or forward, so it's pretty easy to dodge. So the way I see this variation being played is try to get some kind of hit confirm, whether it be your forward 1 mid or whatever, combo into this, and get your damage like that. It seems like the more straightforward variation, get your hit confirm, get your combo. The other variation, like the first one, it seems more of like anti-air, unblockable setup based variation. This is the more straightforward, throw projectiles. I have my unbreakable combo ender. I have my crushing blow I can load up with this. and then I have my combo starter with this. So it's pretty basic, very solid variation. Alright, so let's go to her variation 3. Okay, so Sheeva's third variation. This variation is hella scary, and you have to play against this variation of Sheeva in a different way than you play any other character. Because against most characters, you always want to crouch block. Because, you know, they have their pokes that are lows and everything. You don't want to get clipped by that. A lot of characters have low starters or whatnot. So normally in fighting games in general, you want to block low. But against this variation of Sheeva, if you block low, you will die. So before we get into that particular move that causes that, again with her special move, she has back, you know, her regular flamethrower, that's whatever. Now this variation, she has her a march move. She has like kind of like Terminator, where she runs at you. She can either do the running kick, which the running kick will get a crushing blow if she goes like half screen. Then she can cancel it into this up thing, which she can start combos with. She can cancel it to her overhead. Reason why, because the regular kick by itself, you see that's a high attack, and I think this is the high attack too. Yeah, her launcher is also a high attack. So they're both high, so normally you can just duck without being scared and pressing a poke, but then she can just do the overhead version. Does the overhead have a crushing blow? Yeah, the overhead has a crushing blow if it counters a low attack or a ducking attack. So if you try to like poke her out of this because you think, oh, she's just gonna do the high kick or whatever, then she can get a crushing blow if she does the overhead, so you do have to watch out for that. And the reason why you want to duck the kick and not just block is because check this out. It's +4. Every time she lands it, it's +4. So she can just abuse you with plus frames if you're not careful. So you have to like challenge it eventually, otherwise she could just plus frame you all day. And it was even better, she could also cancel this move. So this is really strong and it really opens up her pressure. And in this variation, her pressure is really scary because of her next two moves, which makes it amazing. So she actually has a low special move, which it is really punishable. But okay, she's really punishable, but the thing is, she has a lot of overheads. She has her back 2-2. Now the first hit's a mid, but the second one's an overhead, so she can do stuff like this. High-low. It's like, okay, that's pretty messed up. Or she can do stuff like this, you know, her 2-1 is an overhead, so right, so she can do 2-low. Now the low is very punishable, but there's a really good reason why she has this special move. Like she needs it, otherwise this variation wouldn't really be viable. It's because she has a low command grab. So this grab, the way it works is, if you're crouching, crouch blocking, or whatever, it will grab you. So you see Robocop right now, he's just standing, not doing nothing to him. So I'm gonna have him duck. Duck, I have him on blocking all, and then it throws him. And then if you amplify this, you can get a combo. So just to show you, I have him ducking like that. I'm gonna put him on stance hold so you see he is blocking, and this is still gonna hit him and still can get a full combo if you enhance it. So basically on Sheeva, you don't wanna block low, because if you block low, you get full comboed. And since you will get full comboed if you block low, this move is almost guaranteed to get hit by that low, because you don't want to get hit by that low because you'll die. She already has a 50-50 mix, whether she does like her overhead strings or go into a low. Now the low is of course punishable, doesn't do all that much damage, but still you have to worry about that. Technically you can fuzzy it, whatever, but that doesn't matter in this variation. If you try to be smart and block low, she can do this. You see that? Instead of going to her overhead, which could combo anyway, I just go into this low grab. If you try to be smart and block the low and get a punish, you get full comboed. So she is very scary in the corner, and on top of that she has her run cancels, so she can do stuff like this, pressure you again. It's like, she's really strong. You have to constantly be guessing. Is she gonna go overhead? Is she gonna go low? If you read the low, is she gonna grab me low and get a full combo punish on me? Now for Sheeva, most of the options are just to block overhead. You don't wanna block low. But if you never block low, you're gonna get opened up by this all day long. So eventually you have to block low, then she can make you block low. You can get hit by the overheads, hit by the grab. So it's a lot of mix going on here. And then of course she has her stomp, but she has that in all variations, so that's no big deal. The main thing about this variation is all her mix-up, 50-50s, mind games with the ducking and whatever. You do not want to duck on this character. And she can really utilize like her sweep, like her really good sweep is -5. She can just do this randomly in your face, comes out pretty quick, because you're always gonna want to stand block, because she can throw this out whenever she wants. Let's say she gets a knockdown on you and she's running up on you, you're gonna be scared to block low because you can get you in a full freaking combo. Now granted, if she just whiffs it like that in your face, you can combo her and everything, so of course it's a risk on her part. But most of the time you're gonna be standing, which makes you vulnerable to like down 3, her sweep, this special move which does pretty decent damage. And again, not a lot, you can't get a full combo off it, but it's still pretty decent. So this is a scary variation to fight against. It may not be the best, I'm not sure yet, because they're all pretty good, like they all have their place. Second one's pretty basic, getting their combos in. First one is good anti-air stomp mix, but I think this one is the best just because it has the run mix up as well. You have the cancels, you have this, if they block that, she's plus. She can just go into an overhead. If you try to read that, get a crushing blow afterwards. So she's really strong. And one thing I did forget to mention about Queen's Punishment. Now on hit, if you enhance it, it's actually a pretty bad situation if you enhance it. Because check this out. If you enhance it, it causes the opponent to bleed for a short time. And if the opponent walks, dashes, or jumps, they will take bleed damage. So basically, if you hit anybody with this enhanced version of this move, they are forced to stand still. They can't do anything or they're going to take some damage. Now they can still do strings, they can still press buttons and stuff like that. So it's not like they can't do anything, but they pretty much can't move in neutral. They're pretty much stationary. So that really limits what they can do. That allows you to get in and continue your mix-up game. So that's about it for Sheeva. I think she's a very strong character. All her variations are good. I mean, I think she's the best of the 3 DLCs, to be honest with you. I mean, Robocop is not even that good. I think his third variation has potential to be good if played by the right player. But again, all his buttons are just so bad and unsafe. He's not even that good. Sheeva's buttons, pretty much all of them are safe. She has to do something stupid to get punished. She doesn't really need to do any of those unsafe things. So she's a pretty safe character, plus with good mix and decent combos throughout all her variations. Fujin, I think Fujin could be pretty good. I'm going to take a more of a look on his first and third variation because I only did a video on his second one, which I think his second one's good, but it requires a lot of work and you have to just, it's a hard character to play. You have to really work at that character, while I think Sheeva's a lot easier to play and both being really good. I think Sheeva's a little bit better than Fujin in my opinion. But yeah, she's a very strong character. If you like grapplers, her third variation's for you. If you like the standard, get your damage, get your combos, get your crushing blows, that's her second variation. And her first one is also like a mix-up unblockable stomp variation, kind of like classic Sheeva, I guess. So overall, good character. I'm impressed in what they did. So anyway guys, that's been it for the video today. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys next time.